This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Damn, Big O. The Dolphins almost had Darren Waller. Well, you want to start the fire, don't you, Devin? All right, let's get into it. Okay? Because you have no idea, okay? I'm preparing for the show, and somebody sends me a tweet that says, hey, Rosenhaus was on Pat McAfee's show, and he said that the Dolphins almost traded for Darren Waller. So, I have to go back to listen to that interview, and I got to make sure that that is actually the truth because, sometimes you guys have some misinformation at times, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, by the way. But that story has other layers to it. So reportedly, according to Drew Rosenhaus, and there's no reason he would lie about this, it's not, he says that the Packers and the Dolphins last year were trying to trade for Darren Waller. Okay? So Miami could have had their big-time playmaking tight end sometime last year leading up to the trading deadline if the Raiders would have agreed to a trade to acquire Darren Waller. But wait, there's more. I'm going to give you something to that story that a lot of you aren't even thinking about. Are you ready to get pissed off? How about you, Devin? Are you ready to get pissed off? Because it pissed me off when I started to think about it. You know how we do it on this show? We don't just see what's in front of us. We see through the trees. We see before everybody sees what they see, or we see things that others did not. So let me give you another reason why Stephen Ross is an absolute idiot. Sure, he's great at writing a check, and that's his only good skill set that he has in football as an owner. He can write a check. What did the Dolphins give up last year for tampering with Tom Brady? A first and a third round pick. I'm sorry, Sean Stanley. What did Darren Waller go to the Giants for? Do you remember? It was a third round pick. Do you realize the Dolphins could have had Jalen Ramsey and Darren Waller for their 2 third-round picks? Because the Giants made the trade. Miami was already making the trade, trying to trade, so were the Packers. It fell through. So if these two assholes, Bruce Beal and Stephen Ross, don't get busted going after Tom Brady and Miami still has their first and their third, guess what else are they acquiring outside of Jalen freaking Ramsey? So Stephen Ross cost the Miami Dolphins Darren Waller. How do you like that, Miami Dolphins fans? How do you like to get pissed off about that one? Bet most of you did that ever even cross your mind? No. Bet most of you, none of you that crossed your minds. You just heard, oh, wow, we almost traded for Darren Waller. You don't realize we should have Darren Waller. Because that same third rounder, we would have given it to him already. How screwed up is that now? So Darren Waller is supposed to be playing. So the offseason would have already included Jalen Ramsey and Darren Waller. This is the kind of shit that just, And so I get it, dude. You know how to write a check. Just stay the hell out of the way, bro. Just shut up. Don't go meet Ndamukong Suh in some arena somewhere and fall in love with him, and then you and Tannenbaum have to sign him. Just Steven, just stay away from the team, dude. Please stay away from the team. Just write the effing checks. Stay in the background. Don't say a goddamn thing. Don't talk about the team. Don't tell me that you expect Chad Henne to be the next Dan Marino or that Joe Philbin will be the next Shula. In fact, stay out of the way. Don't be in the way of hiring Philbin and Adam Gase. Stay out of the way. Don't fall in love with Ndamukong Suh. Stay out of the way. Okay? Stay out of the way. That's all I'm asking. Write the checks and shut the hell up and stay out of the way. Because we're all still talking about a tight end, and Chris Grier already had the tight end ready to go. And these two idiots, Bruce Beal and Stephen Ross, end up screwing it up. You know, it's really amazing. So that if you really want to look at the Darren Waller story, okay, I want you to look deep and see the reason why Darren Waller isn't a Miami Dolphin right now. And why we're not talking about, holy crap, Tyreek Hill, Waddle, and Darren Waller. Are you kidding me? And it shows you also that Mike McDaniel and Chris Grier are not effing around. They're trying to find a big-time playmaker at that position. That's the positive side. The negative side is that we had an idiot owner that cost us Darren Waller, because now you know what that third rounder was going to become, because that's what the Giants acquired him for. A measly third-round pick. They ended up getting a top 3 tight end, right? Top 3, right? Right? Kelsey and Kittle, Kelsey, and then him, right? He's probably number 3. I don't think anybody else I would put in front of him as number 3. I would probably put Darren Waller as the third best tight end right now in the NFL, behind Kittle 1, Kelsey 2, and then probably him. So the Dolphins could have had the best receiver, the second best receiver, the third best receiver in the NFL, and Tyreek Hill. I don't know, whatever the hell you want to argue. Who gives a shit? And you would have had the third best tight end in the league. And I think Jalen Waddle's the top 15 wide receiver in the NFL anyway, as it is. Maybe even top 10, I can argue. No, not athletically, but I will give you all around. That's a good one. Anthony, I'll go Mark Andrews third because he's a better blocker. That's a good call on your part. I think Waller's the better athlete and the better receiver downfield, more dynamic. But you are correct. Mark Andrews is the better all around. So I'd give him the third and knock him to 4. That's a good call on your part.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.